On the grid, draw a rectangle which has the same area as this shaded pentagon. So the area is how much stuff there is inside a shape. So we need to count the number of squares in this shape. We have two half squares here, so we can remember that two halves will make one whole. We have another two halves here, so that's another one. Another two here, so that's three squares altogether, and then we can put these two half squares together to make a fourth square. Then we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the area of this pentagon is 14 squares. Now we need to draw a rectangle. 2 times 7 is 14. So if we draw a rectangle with a width of 2 squares and a length of 7 squares, we'll have 14 squares on the inside, so the same area as the pentagon. Match each length to the correct box on the right. One has been done for you. So 60 millimeters is the same as 6 centimeters. And that makes sense because there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter, and if we divide 60 by 10 we get 6, so that's 6 centimeters. Now we have 600 centimeters. All of our remaining measurements are in meters, and there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So if we divide 600 by 100, that gives us 6. So 600 centimeters is the same as 6 meters. And now we have 6 kilometers. There are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So if we multiply 6 by 1,000, that gives us 6,000. So 6 kilometers is the same as 6,000 meters, because 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Circle 3 numbers that add to make a multiple of 10. So a multiple of 10 is a number in the 10 times table, and all multiples of 10 end in a 0. So the ones digits of the numbers that we circle need to add up to 10 or 20 so that the number ends in a 0. So we could have 11, 12 and 17. 1 plus 2 plus 7 is 10, so our number will end in a 0. And 11 plus 12 plus 17 is 40. We could also have 11, 13 and 16, 11, 14 and 15, 12, 13 and 15. We could have 13, 18 and 19 because that gives us 50 altogether. And if we look at the ones digits, 3 plus 8 plus 9 is 20, so our number will end in a 0. We could have 14, 17 and 19, 15, 16 and 19, or 15, 17 and 18. This ring is made of regular pentagons with sides of 5 centimeters. What is the length of the outer edge of the ring? So the outer edge is the edge on the outside. We know that it's a regular shape, so all of the sides are the same length, so all are 5 centimeters. So we could count 5, 10, 15, 20 and so on, or we could spot that these two lengths will be 10, and altogether we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pale grey and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark grey edges, so that's 10 edges or double edges altogether, and 10 times 10 is 100, so the length is 100 centimeters. Look at the shaded shape on the square grid. For each statement below, tick or cross to show if it is true or false. First, the shaded shape is a quadrilateral. That's true, because we can see that the shape has 4 sides, and any shape with 4 sides is a quadrilateral, because quad means 4. Now, the shaded shape has 4 equal sides. So these sides are not equal in length, because we can see that this top side is 4 squares long, but if we take this side and we rotate it, we can see that it takes up slightly more than 4 squares, so the sides are not equal in length. Now the shaded shape has 4 equal angles. We can see that this angle here and this angle here are both obtuse angles and they look the same size. But this angle here and this angle here are acute angles, so it does not have 4 equal angles. And finally, the shaded shape has 2 pairs of parallel sides. Remember, parallel lines are like train tracks. They would go on forever if we extended them without ever crossing. So this side is parallel to this side, so that's 1 pair, and this side is parallel to this side, so that's another pair. So that means the shaded shape has 2 pairs of parallel sides altogether. We have a parallelogram. Abby takes the temperature outside at midday on the first day of each month. The graph shows her results from January to December. How many months on the graph show a temperature between 10 degrees and 20 degrees? So we have the temperature labelled on the side, so we can draw a line across 10 degrees and a line across from 20 degrees. And we want the months that are between these temperatures, and we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crosses between our lines, so that's 5 months. Now find the difference in temperature shown on the graph between July and August. So if we find our temperature for July, we can go up and then across, and we can see that that's between 15 and 20, but it's slightly closer to 20. So I would estimate the temperature in July was 18 degrees. Now, if we find the temperature for August, we can go up from August, draw a line across, and we can see that that's 25. Now we need to find the difference, so we need to subtract. 25 minus 18 is 7, so the difference in temperature is 7 degrees. Complete the table. So we need to round these numbers to the nearest 1,000 and the nearest 100,000. First, we have 385,704. To round that to the nearest 1,000, we need to find our thousands digit, so that's the 4th digit from the right, because we have ones, tens, hundreds, then thousands, and we're rounding to the nearest 1,000. Now we look to the right and we have a 7 as our hundreds digit, and if we have 5 or more, we round up. So that means this 5 is going to become a 6. Digits to the left, so the 3 and the 8 stay the same, and digits to the right turn into zeros. So we have 386,000. Now we have the number 809,601. To round to the nearest 1,000, we find our thousands digit and look to the right, and again it's 5 or more, so we need to round up. But we can only have 1 digit in each place value, and we already have a 9 as our thousands digit. So what we need to do here is circle our 10,000s digit as well. So 09 will become 10 because we're rounding up. The 8 will stay the same, and digits to the right turn into zeros, so we have 810,000. And now, to round to the nearest 100,000, we find our 100,000s digit, look to the right, and we have a 0. And if it's 4 or less, we round down. So that means our digit stays the same. Digits to the right turn into zeros, so we have 800,000. Write the missing numbers. There are how many days in a year and how many days in a leap year. Now there are 365 days in a year and 366 days in a leap year. So a leap year is every 4 years we have an extra day in February.